All right, hello. This is Group 51's demo of our Osmosis app. Just an intro of our group members. My name is Grace Park.
I'm James.
Austin Woodard.
I'm Ramya Swaminathan.
Tao Zhang.
All right. So in this demo, we're going to go through our algorithm for the Osmosis app, and then we'll go through a few scenarios displaying our features. So we're going to run through a scenario, and James will go through the algorithm behind the scenes.
So the logic for the mowers is whenever a mower is on a piece of grass, it will check to see if any of it has any neighbors that have been discovered or not. And if it hasn't been discovered, then it'll perform a scan action. And the scan action will create all the will give the mower all of the knowledge of its neighbors. And the way that the mowers share the knowledge between each other is that all the mowers are connected through a shared body of knowledge, which consists of a graph, where each node in the graph represents a square on the lawn. And each time the mower scans, it connects the new nodes with their adjacent squares, and also stores a list of all the uncut pieces of grass. And so in order to determine which piece of grass to move to, the mower goes through the list of uncut grass squares and calculates the Euclidean distance between the mower and the grass squares. The mower will select the grass squares with the smallest Euclidean distance to the closest one, giving priority to adjacent squares and highest priority to grass squares that are adjacent and facing the same direction. If it is facing the same direction, then what we do is also check to see if that new neighbor has another neighbor that's also an uncut piece of grass that faces the same direction as well. So once the grass squares have been selected, the mowers will perform a star search to traverse the grass and find the shortest path to the uncut pieces of grass. And so that's how it knows to move through the lawn and which pieces of grass it needs to cut.
And in terms of the GUI itself, we added the turn controls in terms of the pause. The pause will end it at the last turn. So after the last puppy has stayed or moved, it will stop. And then in terms of the next actor, it will go one actor at a time, and actors include mowers or puppies as seen here. And then in terms of the fast forward, this will have the turns continue until the end of the program. And if we hit turn off, at this state, it will tell you the lawn size, how many grass squares there are, how many have been cut when we hit the turn off button, and how many turns it has completed at that moment. All right, so we're going to run through a scenario where there have been updates with obstacles like puppies that will cause mowers to stall.
Okay, so with the logic for the mowers, we've designed it so that the mowers will attempt to avoid each other at all costs in order to prevent stalling. And you'll see with the first couple of mowers, they're bunched up next to each other, so they won't actually attempt to move past each other. It'll select a move with 0. And another piece of logic is that when a puppy moves onto a mower, or when a mower moves onto a puppy, a square with the puppy on it, that mower will stall until the puppy leaves the square. There you go.
All right, so at this moment, I'm going to run the program until completion. As you can see, the minute you start the program, it will begin automatically. However, if you would like to pause, you can hit the pause button under turn controls. And what the pause button will do is pause the program after that turn. So if it's in the middle of the turn, it will pause after the last actor in that turn has completed its move. And so at this point, if I'd like to move one actor at a time, I can hit the next actor button. And you'll notice that mower 1 has moved, but we do see that a puppy has been stalled. So if we look, it has skipped mower 2 and gone to mower 3, and then mower 4, and then it'll go to the puppy and the puppy after that. And so if you'd like, I'm going to hit the fast forward button that will finish out the rest of the program until completion. And so at this moment, we'll see that we still have one undiscovered square on the top left-hand side. And so we'll wait for it to scan as the mower can get close by. And we see at this moment it has been discovered, and we have one more grass square to cut. And so now the mowers are all starting to turn off, and once all the puppies have left a mower square, it has turned off, and we can see when the lawn size is 16, a 4x4, 13 available squares, 13 have been cut, and 12 turns have gone.